I would have to say woman means backbone and strength. And I say that because the things we learn from women, and even myself, like learning from other women, the intelligence, the love, the knowledge that we gain from women, they're always the backbone behind everything, whether they get paid less or paid more. They're always the backbone behind everything. And I say strength because women go through a lot, whether it's a black woman or a woman of another race. And I say with strength because the woman is, I wouldn't say not the head of household, but she's gonna be the person who is gonna be, what we say, the neck to the head when we were on Boss FM. And so she's gonna be the neck. She's gonna be the one steering you in that direction to get you where you wanna go. Man, womanhood has taught me a lot. And I have to reference my mom in this aspect. Just because she was always the breadwinner in the house, she was the one making more money. The roles were reversed in my house. She was the one bringing in the money. She was the one that was the disciplinarian. So by looking at my mom as a reflection, I saw a lot of determination. I saw that she would do anything in her power to make sure that I was good, to make sure that her sisters and brothers were good, and just always showing love, whether we liked it or not. You know, and she had a lot of motivation to get to where she was in her career. And so I think I've kind of been a reflection of her in that aspect. I would just say keep growing, keep living, most importantly, because I know sometimes we get so caught up trying to get to where we want to go and we forget to live. I would definitely say keep living, but also keep growing and keep learning in that process. You'll get there. It's gonna be hard. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's definitely gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy, but you know what's worth having if it's easy. You know what I mean? So you got to keep living through the process, and however long it takes you, whether it takes you 5 years or 15, just keep going. If that's what you want to do, then I promise you'll get there.
Yo.
Wednesday.
What's happening, man? It's Key Marcane coming to you all the way live. Your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. Look, on today we have a very, very special guest, one of my good friends, my sister from another mister. This person right here, y'all, is the reason why I have gotten into satellite radio downtown in Hearst Plaza, you know what I'm saying? This person reached out to a particular person to help me get on with loudgenius.com. Shout out to y'all. Look, we got a very special guest in the building. I want to welcome y'all, Miss Chris Shavon.
Hey, what's up?
What's happening, Chris?
What's happening?
My sister from another mister right here on Working Woman Wednesday, throwing up the W's, gang, gang. We out here, man. Look, as I mentioned, this young lady is a big reason as to why Atlanta has been hearing my voice, a country boy from Mississippi, man. And I want to put the light on her, right? Because you got into radio at the tender age of 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I know what you're thinking, like, how'd she get into radio at age of 8? Well, my dad was a radio personality back at home from Louisville, Kentucky. Put your ears up one time. But he was a radio personality back in Louisville at a gospel radio station. And when my mom had to work late, I would always go to work with my dad. And so I would be bored after I would do my homework. My dad would be like, you want to get on air? And I'm like, what's on air? Like, what's that? You know, I'm 8 years old. I don't know what that means. And so he was like, here, put your headphones on. You're going to say this. And you're going to say what the weather is. And at the time, it was raining. So he was like, you can say whatever you want. Put your rain jacket on. Put your rain boots on. And just give them the weather. And so ever since then, I was like, what's better than talking to people, playing music, and getting paid?
Wow.
So at the age of 8, I knew what I wanted to do.
At the tender age of 8 years old. So let me say, because this is one of my favorite quotes, right? Tupac had mentioned in one of my favorite interviews, he said, I may not be the one to change the world, but I guarantee I will spark the brain of those who will change the world. So with your father being in radio already, you learning from that experience what you wanted to do with the rest of your life, I guess it's safe to say that your father sparked that in you.
Yeah, he did. And he sparked it all the way up until college. I got a degree in broadcasting, radio, and TV operations. And I just learned from there. Like, I would call him sometimes, and if I would come home on the weekends, I would be like, hey, Dad, can I come on air with you at 6 a.m.? When, you know, in college, you don't want to get up that early, but I was so determined to fix my craft and do what I wanted to do that I was willing to get up at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Wow, she was willing. Put that on the screen. Be willing, 100%. And so, you know, I know you mentioned that your mother and your father had ended up divorcing at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother worked late nights.
Mm-hmm.
You ended up working more so with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that you have a closer relationship with your father?
From a radio aspect, yes.
Okay.
And I say that because I watched what he did. I get my goofiness from my daddy. Mm-hmm. Anything radio, I get it from him. But anything mentally, spiritually, emotionally, I get it from my mom.
The best of both worlds.
The best of both worlds.
I love it. I want to dig a little bit deeper into the radio, of course, right? You got on there 8 years old. You knew what you wanted to do for the rest of your life. Like, how big do you see this radio thing going? Is it stopping at radio, or are you pursuing further?
I don't think it's stopping at radio. I think I see myself, let me rephrase that, because the power of words. I know I see myself on TV.
Facts.
And that's just because I know where I'm going and where God's taking me. And it could be radio, it could be TV, whichever one I get to first. But also, how am I going to reach my audience? Is it going to be through radio? Like, how does God want my purpose to be revealed? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be through TV first, or is it going to be through radio? So I think for me, it's just identifying that purpose of what God wants me to do, and then which avenue, whether it's radio first or TV.
Facts. And so I like how you just corrected yourself in terms of rewording what needs to be said. You do these things on your personal Instagram page as well as the Loud Genius page, where you do morning inspiration and motivation. So, you know, do you do words of affirmation daily to yourself? And how important is it for others to speak those things on themselves?
I do words of affirmation all day, every day. Mm-hmm. I do it when I wake up in the morning. I do it in the mirror. I say, you are beautiful, you're a queen, you can do it, you got it, you can tackle on this day. And then when I get to work, I have a work journal. And so in my work journal, I'm like, focus, keep learning. You can do it, you got it, you got faith. And I just put a lot of positivity around me, even if there's negativity around me. Because if you constantly affirming yourself and constantly putting positivity in the air, negativity will have to cease. So
that's good. And so keeping that positivity around you, would you say that, you know, being a product of your environment is a real deal situation? Oh yeah, because there's a lot of people that can distract you from your destiny. And you could be this close, but you got this little string hanging on. And just because that little string is there, it's keeping you, it's tugging you back from where you're supposed to go when you just yank it off and you're going to propel forward. Okay. And so, you know, going beyond speaking things into existence, continuing in radio, what you're currently doing, you work at CNN, right? I work at Turner Studios. I did work at CNN. Okay, you work at Turner Studios. So explain, what do you do there? So at Turner Studios, I'm the studio crew and apprentice. So I schedule all the crew, the freelance crew, for shows as Game Time with NBA TV, Area 21, Turner Classic Movies. So I just make sure that we have the studios all clear, basically like camera crew, floor directing, to the control rooms, the technical director, the directors, the audio ops, the EVS, all those. I make sure they're scheduled for the particular shows and do it again. That is amazing. And let me tell y'all something about Chris Shavon. Like, this woman literally makes friends everywhere that she goes. She doesn't have, at least she's made me believe that she doesn't have any enemies, because she's just that great at making friends. Facts. And we actually met through a mutual friend, and that's what sparked this beautiful kinship that we have now. So I definitely wanted to sit here and highlight you on today, because I truly believe that you are one of the women that's out here pushing the culture forward. And so that's what we do with Working Woman Wednesday. We just want to make every woman feel like a celebrity, no matter the status. I know your status is definitely going to build up year by year, month by month, day by day. What I want you to do right now is look in that camera, talk to the women out there, talk to the people out there, let them know how they can keep going when things get tough. Words of affirmation that you share with yourself. Give them some advice on that.
Some advice I would give to everyone, male or female, is to listen to that inner voice. Don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. I came to Atlanta with 2 tubs to my name and $300, and I was working part-time at Foot Locker, and see where I am now. So if you believe it, then you can definitely see it. It might not come right away. It might not come very easy. But if you're determined, if you're motivated, and you're ready to do what God has called you to do, I promise you it's going to go step by step, and you're going to get there.
And one more thing, because you keep talking about faith, you keep talking about God. Like, how important has it been for you to have this faith, and did you always have the faith at this level that you have now?
It's funny you say that, because I got baptized maybe like when I was, I want to say 10, might have been a little bit before that, but I was young, and I believed in God. I knew who Jesus was, all that, but I didn't really have a relationship. Like, I had religion, and I think it took me to move to Atlanta to get that real relationship. And once I moved, I didn't have anybody else to count on but God. Like, I was alone here. And even though I moved with my cousin, I was still alone internally. And so I felt like, okay, who can I count on? So I went to that Bible. I went to those scriptures. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, God, I don't know how to talk to you, but I guess, hey, and then that haze turned into, okay, what am I supposed to do, God? Do I need to walk up to them and make a connection? Mm-hmm. Then it started getting deeper. So I think by me paying attention to that voice when I moved here, and that voice meaning God, it expanded our relationship. Because my relationship with God wasn't where it needed to be in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And I think by me moving to Atlanta, expanded my faith and grew my faith and grew my relationship with God. And it's going to keep growing.
It's going to keep growing. Look, become a lifelong learner and remain a lifelong learner. That's a lot that I can sum up of what I've learned more from Chris Shavon here on today. Once again, guys, you have just tuned in to another episode, another installment of Working Woman Wednesday. It's your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend, Kemar Kane, coming to you all the way live. Want to thank our special guest, the voice of Atlanta, in my opinion, Miss Chris Shavon in the house. See y'all next episode, Working Woman Wednesday. Put your W's up.
Hey,
Put your W's up.
Hey, turn up.
Gang, gang.
Oh. Oh.